here's the one thing about the open range breakout strategy that most people don't know about. So the open range breakout strategy, we trade the open of the New York Stock Exchange market, that is at 9:30, but due to the DST changes, we'll be trading it at 10:30, that is 5:30 Kenyan time. So for the strategy, you'll first go to the 15-minute time frame, then you go and mark out the first 15-minute candle of the open of the New York Stock Exchange, that is at 5:30 p.m. Kenyan time, 5:30 p.m. So we take the rectangle, then we go and mark the candle, that is the first 15-minute candle, as you can see, like that. Then the next thing, you will proceed to the 5-minute time frame. So in the 5-minute time frame, what we are going to do, we'll identify the breakout of the open range of the New York Stock Exchange. So the candle that broke out is this one, and we have to identify the gap that formed that breakout. So as you can see, that was a fair value gap. So there are two types of gaps. There is a fair value gap and a breakaway gap. So there's another video about that you can go and watch. So this is a fair value gap. So for this fair value gap, as you can see, we had the candle breaking and forming the fair value gap, so you'll expect a retest of the fair value gap. So you can see this candle retested the fair value gap, then you'll enter after the retest, that is the confirmation that we are going longs. You can see after the fair value gap, the retest, we had that, and we target 1 to 2 stop loss just below the body of the first candle. You target 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, something like that. Then we can also take some other examples. You can go to the previous day. Let's look at the previous day candle. Let me change this to 15-minute time frame. So after going to the 15-minute time frame, what you have to do, you mark out the first 15-minute candle of the New York Stock Exchange open, that is at 5:30 Kenyan time, as such. Then after marking out, you are going to proceed the 5-minute time frame. Then you mark out the candle that broke out of the range. So for this case, you can see that the candle that broke out gave a fair value gap, but immediately it got invalidated, so we had to wait for another fair value, for another gap, and you can see this time it gave us a breakaway gap. And as you know, for breakaway gap, you enter at the close of the third candle. Let me change that color, then we can get our entry at the end of that third candle of the breakaway gap. Just a moment. There, let's get entry for sales there. Then the stop loss just above the body of the first candle. So you can see for this case, a 1 to 2 was a challenge, but we got stopped out, no problem. So long as the win rate of the strategy is good, we can proceed and check for another example for the previous week, that was on Friday, 5:30. So as usual, go to the first for the 15-minute time frame, then you mark the open of the session, that is 5:30 Kenyan time, something like that. You open, you mark that session, then you'll proceed the 5-minute time frame. The 5-minute time frame. For the 5-minute time frame, what you're going to do, you'll have to wait for the breakout. And you can see in this example, we got the breakout, but it was a fake out. So for a fake out example, you have to look for the gap that will come back towards the range. So for this example, you can see here, it failed to continue after the gap that it formed, that was a fair value gap. So it got invalidated, and we got our breakaway gap at this point, which was coming inside the range. So this is called an in-orb trading. So you can see the stop loss you placed just above the first candle, then you target a clean 1 to 2 risk to reward. So for this day, that was a clean 1 to 2. And you can see the goodness of this strategy is that after you can see the 1 to 2 risk reward. When we lost the previous, when you lose for 1, you are going to win twice. So you can see something like that. You lost there 1, but you can see the next that followed for the other day we won. So you lose small and win big, something like that.